What's up, Planeswalkers? Theurx6 back with some more Magic the Gathering Arena. And today we're going to hop into a round of competitive constructed. I am going to be using Lord Bolas because I think Lord Bolas is my most consistent deck. It is technically also my most done. I think essentially that the main deck is more or less what I want it to be. The only difference is the mana base, and the mana base is fine enough. As of right now, I can run into problems, but those percentages are relatively low. I might as well do a little bit of DeckTech since this is meant to be a little bit more competitive. So, obviously, we're running before Fatal Push. Even though it does seem that red is a little bit lower in the areas I've been playing, it is still incredibly powerful, and we want to make sure we can answer it. Vehicles have risen in popularity, so I really like the Abrades here instead of the Magma pushes I was running earlier. Being able to kill essentially any of the artifacts, as well as something like Torrential Gearhulk or Noxious Gearhulk in the more later game decks is pretty great. Running for Disallow, they are the best counterspells, and sometimes that counter activated trigger ability will come in handy. Typically, it's just a counter target spell, but the fact that it has that potential flexibility is why this card is substantially better than something like Cancel. 3 Supreme Will. Oftentimes, this card is just going to be a 1 mana more mana leak, except the flexibility of being able to use it at instant speed to try and dig for a specific card is why this card is fine. Something that you'll probably notice is that a lot of the cards in this deck are very flexible, because as a control deck, we aren't necessarily going to be guaranteed to get exactly what we want at the exact right time, so having something that can approximate what we need is pretty good. 2 Doomfalls. If I were expecting more control, I would probably be running 3 Doomfalls main, or 2 Doomfalls and 2 Duresses, taking out probably some of the more aggressive removal cards like Fatal Push or Abrade. But Doomfall does what it needs to do against the mid-range creature decks, so we can go ahead and exile, or allow them to exile a creature they control. Notably, it doesn't work very well against tokens. Or we can just look at their hand and take anything we want from it, and it's exiled. We don't have to deal with it ever again, which is fantastic. 3 Sweltering Suns. This is our removal of choice because the red deck, which is the main deck that we want to kill, kind of tops out of 3 in that they're 1, 2, and 3, and then we play Sweltering Suns, and then we start single target removal the rest of their threats. This incidentally also hits very well against the creature decks like the white-black vampires, like the blue-green merfolks, those types of things. Notably, this card does not line up very well against the mono-green deck, because the mono-green deck often wants to curve Llanowar Elf into Steel Leaf Champion, and that, obviously, can take 3 damage pretty fine. Luckily, this card cycles. So in a matchup where we don't need this, say, against mono-green, or against something like blue-black control, or blue-white control, we can go ahead and cycle this, which is fantastic. Value. Words that I'm looking for. It's something else you can do. 3 Glimmer of Genius, we want to make sure we can draw, and the fact that we can, 1, scry 2. 2, get energy to help us with our Aether Hubs. And 3, do it at instant speed is fantastic. This essentially is run over Hieroglyphic Illumination for the scry and the energy. Hieroglyphic being able to cycle is good early on if you are facing an aggro deck. However, oftentimes you'll be fine up until around turn 5, unless you're going against the most aggressive of the aggressive decks. So I really like Glimmer of Genius here. Yeah, I mean, you want in a deck like this, you want most things to have an instant speed option. So Doomfall is like Doomfall, and then a couple of our higher end cards are not instant speed, but you really want everything to be instant speed just so you can act as last minute as possible. So on turn 4, very frequently we'll be holding up Glimmer as well as Vraskas. If our opponent does nothing we need to Vraskas, we Glimmer. If they do, we Vraskas, and then we wait until next turn where we probably have another instant speed answer. Speaking of Vraskas, we have 3 of those. Best single target removal in the format probably. Hits a pesky creature, hits a pesky planeswalker, gains 2 life against the aggressive decks. That's very important. The fact that it exiles means we can permanently deal with something. Be it a god or something that they could try to get back, like if we were facing a Muldrotha deck, for example. So, fantastic card. 2 Scarab Gods. So we aren't actually running a lot of creatures ourselves. In fact, it's essentially just Scarab God and Torrential Gearhulk. However, we don't need to, right? It is a 5-mana 5/5 that keeps coming back. Which means it can block a lot against the mid-rangey type decks. In addition, against those decks, it acts as a fantastic way to slowly accrue advantage and out-advantage them, outvalue them. Against the control decks, essentially it's just a threat, right? If your opponent taps out for a Planeswalker on 4, and then you can answer that Planeswalker, on turn 5, play Scarab God, they don't have an answer. You can then constantly pressure them because they're on a 4-turn clock. Great card. It gives you Scry if you do end up getting any sort of value, but essentially a single activation out of this guy is great. You also can buy back Torrential Gearhulks out of your graveyard, which is fantastic, or out of your opponents, if you're fighting that fight. But the versatility, the value that this card brings is why it's in here. Only 2 because it's legendary, and we don't want to see it in every matchup. We really want this to be in more of the mid-ranger control matchups. 1 Dark Intimations because I love greed. This card probably should be something else, but like, it's Nicol Bolas. I want it in the Bolas deck. To be fair, it does make them sacrifice and discard a card. We get something back from our graveyard, and we draw a card. So it's kind of like a faster Eldest Reborn, honestly. And it gives us a little bit of value on the on just being in the graveyard. So if we have to discard it to something, we're kind of fine with that because our Nicol Bolas will come in with an extra counter. Doesn't happen very often, but it happens enough that it's helpful. 3 Torrential Gearhulks. This card essentially just helps us double up on Vraskas or Disallows, really. That's what this card is. It's a surprise blocker against the aggro or mid-range decks. It's a clock against the control decks after we've countered one of their spells. It's just a fantastic card. Nicol Bolas is the reason we're running this Grixis shell. It is a planeswalker who will get us there almost every time. Against a control opponent, you typically want to come down in +1. Against a mid-range opponent, you'll typically want to +2. Against aggro, you don't really want necessarily to be playing this card. But if you've made it to 7, you probably have more or less stabilized. So the -4 helps you maintain that stabilization. You almost never -12 with this. If you -12, like, your opponent's being a good sport. And finally, 2 Syncopates. There are some things that you want to be able to exile via counter. The reason I'm only running 2 Syncopates as opposed of 3 Syncopates and only 2 Supreme Wheels is essentially just that I prefer the versatility of Supreme Wheel over the efficiency of Syncopate. Syncopate can help in a lot of situations to essentially be a 2-mana counterspell. So they'll tap out for something, and then you can play something else as well, right? You 2-mana counterspell on Syncopate, and then cycle Sweltering Suns, or cast a Glimmer of Genius, something like that. Onto the mana base. This could be better. Right now we're running 5 islands, 4 swamps, 1 mountain, not a ton of red. 1 Fetid Pool, 2 Submerged Boneyard, 1 Highland Lake, 1 Spirebluff, 1 Canyon. I really do like these lands, just because they have the versatility of cycle. 2 Cinder Barrens, 3 Aether Hub. I've actually really enjoyed Aether Hub. I wasn't sure I would be getting enough energy, but essentially it's kind of just like a one-time use thing, and that's usually fine. It usually gets you there fast enough. 1 Arch for those control mirrors. 2 Evolving Wilds, just essentially because we don't have all of the duels that we would like. And 2 Field of Ruins, again, for the control mirrors. Before I go into the sideboard, I'm actually going to show you, because I have an endgame here. And as you can see, like, most of the deck is, like, actually... No, I think, the entire deck is actually, like, what I want it to be. But this is, I think, what I would want my final mana base to be, just in case anyone is interested. This is what I would like my final mana base to be. So we'll go back here, and we'll check out the sideboard. So I'm running 3 Duress against... Essentially, this breaks down to help against aggro, help against control. I think our mid-range matchup is pretty good. So against control, we're running 3 Duress, get that nasty garbage out of there. 2 Negates, essentially just more counterspells to make sure we win the attrition war. 2 Glint Sleeve Siphoner, essentially as a low-cost threat that not only threatens the life total, but threatens to maintain our level of value. 2 Lost Legacy, 100% against blue-white approach. 1000%. I might bring it in against other things, but it's a blue-white approach fighter. and 2 Torment of Scarabs. If you can resolve this on turn 4 against a control deck, it's going to be very difficult for them to effectively win after that. And against aggro, we have 2 Gifted Aetherborn. Early drop that can help us gain life, help us kill off larger things. 1 Bantus. Technically, this is a little bit more for the mid-range. We just want to make sure we can kill something that, for example, Golden Demise or Sweltering Suns can't. But if they're low to the ground, Golden Demise... Bantus works. But if they're low to the ground, Golden Demise will help out a lot. So, that's the deck. Let us go into Competitive Constructed. That always been 190? I have no idea. Alright. Cool. Lord Bolas, submit deck, and play. Going up against I Am Patrick. I had to run out of the room because I forgot my water. Alright, we are going second. This is not a great hand because it does not have a lot of action. However, it does have the ability to cycle something, which I just realized we'd want to keep in order to play. This is competitive. I'm going to be aggressive in my mulligans. That's interesting. I will keep this. Yeah. No. Alright. That is not what we want to see. I will play this. Okay, we can't kill that with Fatal Push, which is very unfortunate. Another reason Abrade is good. This looks like a pretty quick loss from me. I guess I should have mulliganed even more aggressively than I did. But now it's Marshall. Well, that is not good. I think this is the right decision. Now, that sounds weird. My opponent thinks we're black-red. Right, I know what my opponent's on. My opponent thinks we're black-red. That's good. Bantus is good. Golden Demise is good. I don't think I need those. I might even want Glint Sleeve just to have something early, but... Let's see. I want to keep that. I don't think I need Dark Intimations. Probably trim a single Bolas. Doomfall is still good. Probably drop a single Disallow. We're going to be on the play. I might want to keep that Disallow. I'm not sure. I could see getting rid of a single Torrential as well. I kind of thin my deck a little when I mulligan. I have not played competitive constructed IRL in a while, so bear with me as I relearn the ropes. All right, I am Patrick. Round 2. I'm going first with a much better hand. So hopefully my opponent doesn't have a 1-drop. But you can cast counter on 2, cast counter on 2, or cast counter on 3, cast counter. Cool. Then we got another. So they might be looking at this and be like, what? Excuse me, what? Hi, hello. Yeah, I mean my opponent may be mulliganed for a completely different deck. No, thanks. Why are they playing Heart of Kiran? What? That's interesting. Nope. The thing is, we need to start drawing gas. Because I can't guarantee that my opponent's not going to play something next turn. So now, we need to draw lands. Really bad. Or, not lands. We need to draw non-lands. Very bad.
Bring it on.
Oh, awesome. We're just gonna keep not letting our opponent play the game. Oh man, I'm sure some people who are watching right now hate me. Ooh, they didn't get anything. That is awesome for me. I can Doomfall them. They didn't cast anything. They didn't cast anything? That's strange. Ah, okay. I guess I'll take cast out. Yeah, they thought I was a red-black aggressive deck. Like, there's no way they kept this in if they thought I was a control. So that's why we conceded when we did. We essentially we refused our opponent some information that was integral for their sideboarding. And I'm in a good-ish position. The longer my opponent goes without actually having a threat, and see now I can start actually drawing in. So essentially, like the idea, right, is we want a 1-for-1 removal until we can get to the point where we are 2-for-1 removal, or we're playing our large threats. So Lyra, pretty easy. And then we can Glimmer. Any lands we just drop to the bottom. Everything else probably keep. Yeah, I mean, we have perfect information on our opponent. They're playing mono white stuff. I think I'm fine keeping a Supreme Will. It's either a counter spell. Ooh, Glimmer, that's fantastic. Doomfall, I know what they have. I don't need to use it. I don't care about either of those cards. I probably won't end up needing Supreme Will. Fantastic. So I will Glimmer. And I might also end up Supreme Willing. Cool. And essentially, I decided to concede when I did in Game 1 because I expected to win Game 2. This is going to be the hard one, right? We're going to be on the draw against a deck that can have an explosive hand, which means I think these Disallows are worse. If the Disallows are worse, are the Glint Sleeves better? Right, because we can't just think of what we're bringing in. Or we can't think of just what we're taking out. We're thinking about what we're bringing in, right? Like you can argue negates or duresses exclusively for the History of Benalia, but I don't think that's worth it. I do think that this is a creature-based deck. Is there an argument to be made for bringing the Disallows back in? No, I don't think so. I think this is fine, and this is something that I don't think a lot of people do. When you're looking at sideboarding, you still have some time, right? Make sure you go over what you might need to sideboard for the third game, right? You don't need to keep everything the same. I do think that everything is fine, but be willing to make adjustments. Raspberry, yum. So I do have a Golden Mize, which is good. But I don't have a lot of other answers. I do think Golden Mize helps against essentially everything except for Banalish Marshal. Darn you, frames. Okay. Yeah, that's unfortunate. Sweltering Suns is also great. I will go ahead and play this tapped. Yeah, so Sweltering Suns is a better answer because it hits Banalish Marshal. So I'm probably going to take a decent bit of damage. That's actually good. It looks like they're not going to have an actual 2-drop, so that's good. So I'm probably just going to play this. If they don't play something that requires me to play Sweltering Suns, I'm not going to. I'm just going to Goldenize. So the question is, do I take 3 more, go to 12? I mean, I assume that they just have, like, Lyra. 3, 4, or 4, 5, 6. I think I'm going to get down the pools. No, it could be a mistake, right? That theoretically could be a turning point where I would have wanted to cast Goldenize there. Karn, interesting. So this is just like a strange white deck.
Until you have how convenient. An excellent choice.
Vraska's Contempt would be pretty good here. Another Sweltering Suns, interesting. I will demise here. My reasoning is that I now have another Sweltering Suns. I do know, like, I could have Sweltering Suns, because this cares about damage. What are they getting back? Heart of Kirin, okay. Sure. I didn't expect a Planeswalker, honestly. Sure. Sure. Syncopate, I don't need that.
Choice.
So I should probably be commentating. The reason I did that is that while yes, I can kill Banalish Marshal with Sweltering Sun, if I give him Banalish Marshal, he can crew Heart of Kirin more easily without using a Karn thing. Doing it this way, he'd have to take away from this, and this, both of them would be stronger. Giving him this means that even if he plays it, it's less of a problem. I guess maybe I could have done that with the idea that he would try to cast it and I could just counter it with Syncopate. But the fact that he got an early, I think he got that on curve, was pretty hard. So I could do it for 4, so meh. It's fine, I'm just going to Sweltering Suns. I'm actually going to cycle one of these. Okay. Gifted Aetherborn is good. So I get Sweltering Suns and play Gifted Aetherborn. Banalish. If he gets Banalish, I think I do have to let him get Banalish. I'd go down to 1. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what he has, but I think I have to get down lifelink. So if I play the other way, if I just try and disallow a Banalish, maybe he doesn't have that, and I just end up dying. Because he could, like, activate Pump. I go down to 1. I'm put in a position where I can't block this anyway, and I have no way to gain life, so... It looks like he's crewing with that again. Okay, L+. So he's not getting Banalish. Well, he is getting a cast out. Which means he can just cast out my Gifted Aetherborn. And I'm in the same position anyway. Which is fine. I don't expect to do very well in competitive constructed. I haven't played... What the hell? Why are you playing this Gideon? He's playing like... He's playing a very strange deck. To be fair, a decent way to win against your competition is to play a strange deck, because your opponents will not be ready for it. Importantly, he's not killing my Aetherborn. But I didn't get any of my, like, single target removal, so I can't kill that. I essentially have to attack. Damn. I mean, I can flash this in, but I essentially still have to attack. No, I don't think there's a single thing I can do. Yeah, I didn't get any of my single target removal. My opponent should just attack in the air. Now he's getting Banalish. He got the other cast out. What? 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, yeah. I mean, he has double cast out. That's fine. Yeah, I'll keep going. It's fine. I'm recording this the night before. It's technically... I'm just tired. I had a long day. What's our break-even point? 2 wins? Ah, that's fine. We can get 2 wins. Oh, right. This is only 2 losses. Oh, gosh. Ooh. Currently waiting. Maybe we dropped internet again? This would be a fine time to drop, since we are waiting. I can't cancel out anymore, which is nonsense. Nope. Alright, cool. Just make sure we're still on the internet. Ooh, this is a... Why am I getting so many... Oh, Right, this doesn't have that weird hand thing. I think I'm still fine with this. Am I? Am I still fine with this? It has, like... It has Sweltering Suns on 3. And I do go first. I think I'm fine. I think I'm fine with this hand. Going up against... Let Tommy... I have no idea. It's something Wonder. I want to say it's Tommy Wonder, but is it Le Tommy Wonder? Because that's just strange. Okay, opponent opted. Which means I probably am not going to need the Sweltering Suns, which is fine. So this is some sort of control match, then I am totally fine doing it this way. Blue-red, interesting. I can play land go all day, my friend. So I guess this is the Drake deck? But that would be my assumption. Well, gotta play that island. I assume that this is the Drake deck. So if they cast Drake next turn, I disallow it. If not, I Sweltering Suns because Drake has 4 power. I assume that they're going to try and do something on my end step. Maybe Lightning Strike me? Opt again, sure. I don't know what those sound effects are. Very curious what my opponent has. Looking at my Cinder Barrens, or my Canyon Slough, sorry. I don't know why. Destroy. Oh, this is some sort of land destruction deck? No, go away. I'm casting Scarab God next turn. I'm just going to try to beat my opponent down. If this is the nonsense he's on, I think that this is the correct decision. Because demolish a land of mine next turn all you want, I'm going to murder you. Also, why not take out the Submerged Boneyard? Like, I have plenty of black and plenty of red. Like, I need that blue. Do it, destroy one of my lands. I'm going to hit you for 5. He's targeting Canyon Slough again. I think he's actually going to destroy one of my lands. He destroyed one of my lands. Sure. I'm hitting you, dude. Got another disallow, so that's awesome. So I'm going to attack. Disallow whatever land destruction he tries. If he doesn't, I can cycle Sweltering Suns. Evolving Wilds. Next turn I'll hold up Gearhulk to disallow again. Like, I mean, cool for trying a land destruction deck. It's just LD is not good at 4. Like, LD is like a little too strong. Draw 2 cards. Sure. I don't care about that. LD is a little too strong at 3 and way too weak at 4. If somehow it could be priced at like 3.5, I think it'd probably be pretty fair at that price point, but unless you're doing some Ponza nonsense, it is just barely not good enough, unfortunately. I cannot wait to lose this match. I'm going to cycle first. Technically, it ups my chance of getting a land. And in this specific matchup, I'm fine with that minor percentage difference, weighing a little more heavy on the get a land side as opposed to the not get a land side. Sure, Syncopate, that's fine. I'm going to get an island because I have a lot of blue in my hand, and I don't think I need... I mean, you could blow up another... Well, no, you can't blow up another black source because I'm going to counter him. What am I saying I'm getting? Island? I don't have any creatures in my graveyard. He has priority. He must have something he can do at instant speed. And another Gearhulk. Awesome. I'm just going to try and kill you. So my opponent is technically on a 2-turn clock. Because I assume they're going to cast something here. I'm going to... Actually, I could just put them on a 1-turn clock. I have a Disallow. Yeah, so I could just cast Torrential Gearhulk and Disallow. Alternatively, I could Disallow and hold up Syncopate. Depends on... I'll probably end up disallowing and hold up Syncopate. I think it technically is a better play. I'm actually fine with that. Now the question is, will I cast a Gearhulk for no value if my opponent does nothing here? I think they wanted me to counter that. Huh. That's strange. Screw it. I'll counter it. I mean, my opponent played a land already. They have 2 mana. They're doing something. I don't see what. Sure, though. That doesn't do anything. Because you don't have the mana to do anything. And now you are dead. I am going to look through the deck. Just trying to get as much information as I could before you conceded. I don't think I need Lost Legacy here. This is definitely not an area where I need the Fatal Pushes. Glint Leaf is possibly fine. Sneak in under. I like the idea of Duress and Negates. Probably get rid of Sweltering Sun. Obviously my opponent could bring in something. Some sort of transformational sideboard. But I still have things like Abrade. I still have the ability to kill them. I don't necessarily need Nicol Bolas. Maybe I still keep in like a Sweltering Sun. Maybe I even just bring in Gifted Aetherborn to just try and aggro out my opponent. An argument could be made for Torment of Scarabs, because I don't think my opponent is running counter spells. I just don't know how fast Torment of Scarabs is meant to do anything. Dark Intimations, not actually that good. My opponent, as of right now, doesn't seem like they're playing many creatures. So I guess I could throw in a Torment for that. Let's see. We're probably going to go second. Let's look at our... So I could see putting in Gifted Aetherborn just as a more aggressive thing, and I'd be getting rid of Nicol Bolas. Let's actually just pop out a Bolas, pop in another Torment, and see where this takes us. Because maybe they'll transition... They could transition into a more aggressive shell. They could transition into a more controlling shell. I don't know yet. Since I won the first game, this is kind of a... not necessarily a freebie. You know, you don't want to give them any games. You want to fight for everything. But if we do lose this, it's not nearly as bad. Opponent taking a little while to decide on their mulligans. All right. Not great. Not great. I don't like that I saw the one Nicol Bolas here. I will mulligan. Yeah, even though we have the 3 and we're going second, I think it's correct to mulligan. So they did keep that. Got a Duress, got a Torment of Scarabs. This is a much better hand. Since we don't have a 2, we'll probably Evolving Wild on 2, but turn 1 Duress seems pretty good to me. Don't need that Gearhulk. So let's see what they play on 1. I would not be surprised to see like a Mountain Soulscar Mage, honestly. Ooh, second Duress. Just the dirtiest thing going on here. I'm gonna eat their hand alive. Tapped creature? Sure, I don't care at all. Perilous Voyage? So Perilous Voyage would theoretically hit my Torment of Scarabs. But, like, this card essentially is going to do nothing. I don't think I need to hit that, and I do know that I don't want that to happen at all. So I'm just going to get rid of that first. Evolving Wilds next turn, and Duress. So, we are in a good position. And Supreme Will the following turn. That's fantastic. There's you got another land. That's fine. I'm fine getting rid of Perilous Voyage here. Yeah. Just essentially so that they can't do anything to my Torment of Scarabs when I play it. So I can go ahead and play this on 2. I'm going to fetch for a blue now. Because I'll need it for Supreme Will anyway, so it's fine. It's great having perfect information on our opponent. So, next turn we'll have... Come on, game. Alright. Next turn we'll have Supreme Will. They'll probably want to try and cast Pirate's Prize. Honestly, might counter Pirate's Prize. Especially if they land to do nothing here. Cool, cool. Got another island. I'm fine just playing the island. Yeah. End turn. So yeah, if they want to Pirate's Prize, I can probably just counter that and then go into Torment of Scarabs, honestly. Because I know that card, right? That card essentially is nothing. This card, I am technically still 2-for-1ing them. This card, essentially nothing. We don't know what that card is. But if they have like another Primal Amulet or whatever, then we'll just counter that instead. What are you gonna play? Well, no. Yeah, no, they're still just a land destruction deck, so that's fine. I'll counter that, make sure I'll have my Torment of Scarabs, get down my Torment of Scarabs, and just try and let that win me the game. I'll go ahead and play Field of Ruin. It's unlikely I'm gonna need it this match. So hopefully we can ride Torment of Scarabs to the end of the game, but if not, there's always Game 3, which we'll be going first. We'll know that they probably don't have a transformation because they probably would have done it in this game. So main phasing and opt is not good for them. And they can only take life so much. I assume maybe they'll Pirate's Prize here. Yep, prize up, sure. Seeing something like a Scarab God would be pretty decent. Because this just bounces, yeah. I'll play the blue-black land, because I don't need any more black. Let's see what my opponent can do. Obviously, we're not out of the woods yet. The thing is, even if my opponent gets rid of all of my lands, they still have to contend with Torment of Scarabs. Yep, that makes sense. They can get another Perilous Journey, but they need to destroy all of my lands and Perilous Journey. I assume you'll get a LD card. Nope. Went with an up. Interesting. Ah, right. Sure. Didn't save it for the last chapter. So, they can double LD me, but even that is going to put me at... I'm at 7 total. It's going to put me back down to 5. I'm still fine with that. I'd love something good and playable. That is good enough and playable. Yeah. Even if my opponent wants to just if they have land into 4-drop, I can still just use Supreme Will to dig for something else. So, an argument could have been made for playing Aether Hub before the Canal, but I don't necessarily value red mana too much in this matchup right now. All it really would be used for is Bolas, and I don't expect to be on 7 for a long time. Oh man, look at them drops. Look at them Phipps drops. Come on, OBS, I believe in you. There we go. All right, I assume you're going to get some nonsense. Sure. So if that is 4 mana, right? Yeah, so if they don't play a land, I can counter that. Looks like they might Perilous me? Perilous my Torment first? They did. Interesting. So they're not going to get a Scry, and that's fine. And if they try to cast that now, I can just counter it. Do it. They didn't do it. Which is fine. I can still Supreme Will search for something. And Torment of Scarabs again on my following turn. Are you gonna try? It doesn't look like it. So yeah, they're trying to double LD me, but like, I'm still gonna be at 5. Supreme Will is starting to run out of its viability. Glimmer is fantastic. Unfortunately, I would not... Nice. I actually want them to hit Aether Hub. No, that's not true. I have Glimmer. Never mind. Let's play my Swamp. Let's go ahead and tap the things that they're probably going to destroy. Why would you tap like that? Dumb mana system. Don't even pretend to leave up blue. I guess maybe my opponent has a counterspell? Which if they do, they played me. Yeah, that's what I figured. So I assume they're gonna take life. I guess they could land double LD, which would be 4 of my lands, which will put me down to 3 on board, but I have another in my hand and a Glimmer, so they'd be at nothing, and I would be at cards. Alright, well, they wanted to keep the card in their hand. Very well could be a second LD. So yeah, let's see what my opponent does. I've never seen him tap him, so I'm just gonna let him do what he wants. Demolish, sure. Sure. That is totally fine. Wait, what? How do you get... How do you get... Wait, why did he cycle that? Oh, he didn't have the second land. Also, when did that happen? When did he get a second one that I knew about? Maybe I just didn't know about that one. Yeah, I mean, I'll Aether Hub. And then Torrent of Scarabs. And I have another land in hand, so, like... My opponent is at 1 land against a Torrent of Scarabs. I mean, I'm glad that I brought Torrent of Scarabs in. I saw that this could be a grindy game that was predicated on me landing a Torment early and weathering my opponent's land destruction. You know, I saw that that was something that this game could be, and I sideboarded for it. Excuse me. Pirate's Prize, that is fine. 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I can't... I mean, I could find a negate, but... Meh. Sure. Yeah, looks like they don't have anything. I mean, I applaud you for trying to make LD work in Standard, but... It works in Modern. Kind of. I don't need a Abrade. I don't need an island. He says before all of his lands get destroyed. Got a negate. Got a glint sleeve. Cool, cool. I mean, I guess I can duress here. If nothing else, like, if I get rid of some nonsense, then the duress kind of is a lightning bolt because of Tormented Scarabs. Sure, that's fine. I'll glint sleeve. Put some sort of clock on him. Still have negate up. I think we're sitting pretty. Opponent might sacrifice his treasure, which is what he should do. I think it's what he should do. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's correct to discard the island, but I don't see a use for the treasure. But then again, I didn't make his deck, so who knows. Saheeli, interesting. No. I wonder why you run Saheeli. Maybe just get a copy of Primal? It doesn't last around. I don't know. I will draw a card. Please? Hello? Please? Oh, he has priority. He might not know that he's priority. Yes, I will. Cool. Got a counterspell. Got an Island. Just go ahead and attack. Oh, another thing that I didn't point out in the DeckTech. Obviously, getting energy with these works as well, right? So I wasn't sure about Aether Hub. Not only do I have Glimmer, I also have this in the sideboard. So, cool stuff. I assume you're going to sack the artifact? Yep. My opponent is on a weird, like, 2 to 4 turn clock, depending on what they're doing. But I mean, they're not in a good spot at all. I'm gonna do I disallow for the Rubbins? Yeah, I might need red. Not technically BM. Because maybe I want to cast Nicol or something. I will absolutely take that action. And I'll draw a card. And I'll play a land and attack you. What you doing? Are you trying to blow up my land again? That's rude. No, 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 no. Calm down. I almost clicked that on accident. I'll just get a Scarab God. It doesn't actually matter. Because my opponent's just going to die to Torment of Scarabs and Glint Sleeve, but sure, I'll draw a card. I don't know. I'll draw another card. I'm a man who loves value. Fuel your cravings at the circus of value or something like that. Who am I kidding? Fuel your cravings at the circus of value. Oh, man. I want to play Bioshock now. Oh, I love that game. That was a fun game. I think I have, like, the Collector's Edition box set somewhere. Alright, opponent, what are you doing? I have 8 lands against an LD deck that has played several land destruction cards. Cool, cool. I think I'm gonna end this one here, but I might upload another part the same day. It depends on how busy I am, but I'm tired. I didn't see what the thing was. Ah, they need to fix that. I know I could maybe just get another loss. Maybe I'll get another win. I'm gonna pause it there. It's not going anywhere. I'm not gonna play it off camera. I'm tired. It's late. I may or may not record depending on how busy I am tomorrow. Anyway, yeah, hope you guys liked it. Competitive constructed. I'm still getting my seed legs. If you did like it, go ahead and tap that like button, add a subscription to your mana pool, and cast a comment to the comment section down below. And until next time, all will be one.